Well guys, welcome to the real first video of this. I'm not gonna say restoration because it's not like we're restoring it, but we'll just say build. And the first process of this build is gonna be actually getting this engine bay painted. So one of the main reasons I'm gonna start with the engine bay is because once I have the engine bay done, I can actually start putting the engine bay kind of back together, start putting parts on. I could even put the engine in here. So that's why we're starting here. Do that, and then we will paint the outside of the car. I feel like that's gonna go pretty quick. There's not a lot of fixes, and at this point, like, we're to the hard part of stripping it down. So we might as well just paint it while we're here. So, as you can see, everything is pretty much stripped out. Really, the only thing left is the front subframe and suspension, and then that'll get everything out of the way of actual paint. So first thing first is we are going to be dropping this subframe real fast, and then we can continue with the sanding and everything. You can see here, anywhere that you can see that looks a little more dull, I've been hitting with the Scotch-Brite and sanding. All of this, you can see that we're trying to feather this out the best we can so that it doesn't show up when we paint. Of course, by the battery, a little bit of rust. Batteries are very corrosive, so usually where you're going to find rust in your engine bay. But getting that sanded out, and then we will put a rust converter on that. But yeah, thing with the engine bay, like the engine bay is probably going to be harder to paint than the actual car, just because there's so many nooks and crannies. And see if we can do this without getting any runs, because you're just trying to get these corners, and all of a sudden you're getting too much paint here because you're trying to get paint in the corner. It's just not the easiest thing to paint. So hopefully we can do a good job on it. I think I'm gonna be going with like a magnesium blue on the engine bay and then orange on the outside of the car. I don't know why, but I've always wanted an orange car with blue accents. So this is the car that we're doing it with. Hopefully it turns out, I go back and forth, but that's what we're gonna do. So let's start by getting this front subframe out. I don't know if that's the best way to do this. Obviously the subframe isn't making this easy, but it's working. Once we get it high enough up, we can put some jack studs underneath. Hopefully that board survives. Well, I've been spending a lot of time here cleaning, degreasing, trying to get this as clean as possible. Did pretty good. I think for the most part, everything should be good to go. The biggest thing is I just want to get rid of all of the oil and grease, anything that will affect the adhesion, and don't want any kind of weird chemical reactions. So a lot of time is going to go into cleaning here, just because you want it to come out right. But I think I'm good. Now I'm just going through and scuffing everywhere. Literally every nook and cranny you can get into, you want to stuff so you can scuff, so you can get good adhesion for the epoxy primer to stick to. So yeah, goal today is to get all of this pretty much ready for epoxy, and then we can hopefully, once I get the epoxy primer, can spray it and keep making progress. dog. Wasn't that just a blast? The whole thing is scuffed, ready to epoxy. Need to clean it like 17 times, blow it off, but everything is scuffed. Only took about 3 hours. No big deal, but all part of the process. But man, doesn't an open, clean, gutted engine bay just look so good for some reason? So I need to figure out what kind of epoxy I'm gonna use, get it here, and then figure out how to get in the paint booth. And then we can throw some color on here. I'm excited to see how it turns out. Well guys, I am back with another day on the engine bay. We're not quite ready to paint yet. I actually came out and did some more sanding. I like to give myself either I call it a 2-day rule or a 1-2-1 rule. Meaning, first day I come out here and I'm like, cool, let's do this good. But then naturally, just as a human being, as you go on, you start getting less and less as a perfectionist. So it goes from, I'm gonna do this really well, to towards the end, it's like, well, that's good enough. So, and I don't wanna finish with that. I wanna come back out with a fresh mind, look at things and be like, you know, that could be better. Because when I finished off, it was like, ah, that's good enough. But now I'm back to the mindset of, I wanna do good. So, went over everything another time. Obviously, it's not gonna take as long, half hour, an hour, whereas the other day was like 4 hours. So, and that's just, it just gives yourself, if you know it's good, when you have a good mindset, then you know it's good. If you have a bad mindset and it's good, you don't really know. So that's just what I like to do. So it's been a few days, back out here, sanded everything good again. Now it's time to start cleaning up. I have this nice backpack Milwaukee vacuum, which comes in really handy. And I like to vacuum this out versus blowing, for one. Doesn't make my shop as messy, and it's just nice. You can just suck everything up really good. So I'm gonna go through and clean up this engine bay real good, and then we can start with the degreaser and cleaner. So I got everything vacuumed out. Now I am laying this Permatex rust dissolver gel. I'm using it just where the battery was. Is pretty much the only place where there's rust in the engine bay, and it's pretty common because batteries are corrosive. So batteries sit there, boil over, whatever, rust develops. So I'm gonna do that before we paint. That'll make it so it is a paintable surface. Letting that sit for like 15 minutes, then I'll wipe, clean, all that should be good. And then really it's just degreasing and cleaning and making sure this is really clean, and we'll be ready to paint. Well, here we are once again, going the extra step when I said it was done. I just need that extra time to think about it. Laying in bed, and this is ready to paint. Or I originally thought, but I was laying in bed, I just kept thinking, man, all that globbed up old seam sealer, I can't stand. So I've gone through and here just kind of shaved down the high spots to smooth this out. Then in these corners, I removed it all, removed all this, and I'm gonna be reapplying sealer. Just like, I don't need show quality, I just want it to be smooth. I know you're not gonna see most of this, but I don't know, it's just the way I am. So, got all shaved, cleaned. I'm about to lay down some seam sealer, and then it should be ready to paint. Well, that was pretty easy. Looks pretty good. Looks a lot better than it did. A lot of these places weren't even like sealed. They were just like sealant running by it, but there was still like a gap between the metal. So these are actually doing something now. Really cleaned up this corner. So now we are officially ready to paint. So next time you see this car, it's going to be in the paint booth. So here we are in the booth. First time a car's been in here. Kind of cool. As you can see, we have some massaging to do. If I was painting the whole car, I definitely wouldn't be yet, just because we need to seal all these. But since I'm just doing the engine bay, I'm not really too worried about it. And then we don't even have power going to it or anything. So right now it's pretty much just a box. That keeps things a little more out of the elements. We even have just the temporary fan here that sucks out the air. And I think that should be plenty enough for what I'm doing. So yeah, yesterday brought it in, got it taped, put some plastic over it, and yeah, I think we're pretty much ready. Just need to blow this off and give it a final cleaning, real good cleaning. Remember, cleaning is very important with paint, so paint it or clean it, then clean it again, because you can never be too clean. Definitely a little nervous. You just have that anxiousness of hope everything goes good, just because it's taking a lot of prep to get where I'm at, and it'd suck to mess it up. So a little bit of nerves, but not too bad. I think it's gonna go fairly smooth. Okay, I got the final cleaning done. Everything's looking pretty dang good. And yeah, I think we're ready to go mix up our sealer and do some spraying. Get this over with. One of those things where you just, I don't know. I like to stall when it comes to these things where it's like a high risk, like needs to be done right, because I don't know, I guess I'm just nervous. But only one way to do things, and that's just get her done. Well, I got the first round of primer on. Overall went fairly well. Little dry spray, some spots. This is hard to paint, just because there's so many nooks and crannies. You can't just sit there and flow like you can on a body panel, and so it's a little tougher. But I think it'll come out. I'll do another coat of a primer, and then we can get into the base. Well, that turned it into doing exactly what I didn't want to do. I don't know if it was my gun settings or what. This came out with a lot of texture. I think if I would have went with an actual sealer versus a primer reduced down to a sealer, it might have worked better. That's just what they recommended at the shop I went to. Or maybe I just painted it wrong. Who knows? This is probably one of the hardest things to paint because there's so many nooks and crannies, and it's hard to just come up with a plan and just stick to it. But I realized I need to have a better plan, because I pretty much sanded this whole entire thing down. The whole time I've had my paint here, because I mixed this and then realized that I needed a sand. So hopefully this is still good. It should be. I think if I go and mix it, stir it again, it should be fine, but probably not ideal. But I think I am ready to paint now. So guess let's try this again, and hopefully a little better results. Pretty cool look, huh? Well, I feel a lot better about this coat of paint. I think on top of having like a darker color to spray, so you can actually tell really well where you've been, everything's coming out a lot better. And for first coat, I didn't try to get everything. You can obviously see there's spots that haven't been touched, but for the most part, everything at least has something. That should give it something that the paint will stick to. These corners right here are very hard. You just throw paint in there and there's just so much air movement going around, it's really hard to paint. But no, I'm feeling a lot better about this coat, so hopefully the end product's not going to be too shabby. All right, we got all of the base color down, 2 coats, and I think it's going to turn out pretty good. Probably won't be perfect because of kind of the primer situation, but I think with the clear coat, everything's going to kind of glaze over and it'll turn out fairly well. So at the end of the day, it's an engine bay. I'm not that worried about it. It is just what holds the engine. The outside, that's a little more important to me. Well, here we are on the home stretch. Just gotta lay this clear down and see how it turns out. There's definitely gonna be some imperfections, not perfect, but hey, learning along the way. Engine bays, I learned, are pretty tough to paint just because of all the corners, but that's all right. Still having fun. Let's lay down some clear and wrap this up. Overall, I'd say I'm pretty happy with it. There are definitely spots that I hate, spots I wish I would have got better, but it is so hard to get every nook and cranny completely evenly and the same. But the important parts, which are the wheel wells and towers to me, because those are spots that are mostly seeable, those look good. So I'm pretty happy with that. And I can finally start working on this car again. So next step, now that this is done, I can actually start putting the engine bay back together. The reason I wanted to get the engine painted first is because I wanted to make it a roller again. Right now it doesn't have the front wheels on it, obviously. So now I can go take apart the WRX that I have and move the front subframe onto this, make it a roller again, and then while I'm doing that, I might as well just do the full drivetrain swap. So that is the goal. It was kind of a pain to get this in here without the front wheels, so I'm thinking I might leave this in here until I take apart the WRX and then put it on here and then move to the shop, because like I said, it was kind of a pain. But yeah, super glad this is done. I think I'm gonna end this video here. Making progress. Thank you guys for watching. Catch you on the next one.